And good morning at 7:04 on this Monday, July 17th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody, and welcome on Monday morning. We're glad to have you with us. Don Hamlet is here, and we're going to talk about having sleep about. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
How's your weekend?
It was great. It was great.
Well,
no big deals.
It's a good old summertime.
It is. It's hot and steamy, but it's wet too.
And maybe a little smoke coming from somewhere.
It may be from up north somewhere coming down this way, making a little haze.
Absolute Kubota is where Don hangs out during the week, and that's located at 1506 West Main in Lebanon. We talk about it each week, the Kubota tractors, the hay equipment, the zero-turn mowers, the RTVs, the whole works. And it's all right there, and you get to sell it every day you work.
I get to work it. I get to meet some awesome people. I really enjoy my job. I like people. You know, some people want to stay away from everybody. I really enjoy people. Typically, 99 out of 100 people come in. They're pretty excited about whatever they're looking to purchase. We do have some good deals. We keep 0% financing going all the time, and we try to make that pretty simple and a painless process. You come in, we should be greeting you at the door and saying hi to you when you get there. We're going to start asking you questions of what it is you want, how much property you have, what are your goals. We'll go out, we'll look at equipment, whether you're wanting a excavator or a tractor, or you're just needing a simple implement to put behind your tractor. We're going to ask you the questions. We're going to figure out what you're going to need. We're going to get you a quote. We're going to agree on a price. And then you just stay at my desk and we'll do all the financing and everything. If you live in Wilson County, we're going to fill it full of fuel. We're going to deliver it to you for free. Your equipment comes out to you and everything just goes great. It's pretty simple process.
Oh, you make it sound so simple.
It is. It is really a pretty simple thing, the way it happens and everything. It's no big deal.
Well, of course, the payment plans change a little bit, as you were saying last week.
Sure.
But not a lot.
Not a lot. Typically, what changes the most are your rebates. They sit and look at them, and from month to month, one rebate may get better, one rebate may decline a little bit, but we always try to keep up with all the different options for our customers. Because the rebates are just a benefit to the customer. We're just trying to always make sure that we're keeping up with those and making sure that we're getting the best price for everybody.
Well, you have a quality product, and that's where you need to begin with whatever you're doing. But Kubota has a great name. They
do. I mean, at our dealership we sell Kubota, and there you can get tractors, lawnmowers, construction equipment, all of that, zero turns. Then we also sell Hustler. We sell Exmark brand lawnmowers. We sell Red Max. That would be your two-stroke equipment. That would be your handheld blowers, your backpack blowers, your string trimmers, weed eaters, as people call them. We sell those products. And for me, I feel like I'm blessed because we do sell good products. Not a lot of problems with them after the sales. If you do have anything that you use it a lot and you need to do maintenance, if you like to do your own maintenance, you can go to see my guys in the parts department. Colin and those guys are sitting there right now, ready to go. We keep all your oil filters, your fluids, your belts, your new blades. We've got all that stuff sitting there ready to go. If you're the kind of fella that does not enjoy that, or you don't have the time to do that, our service department will gladly take care of those services for you.
Well, I don't know what else you could want, really.
Me neither. Just come on in and see us, and we'll get you fixed up.
But there are a lot of weekend farmers, or there are people who are not farming full time.
Sure.
Who and a lot of farming that is done today, one person does so much of it themselves.
Oh yeah. I mean,
and you've got implements that
we do, and you have so many people that just don't want to live in a so-called city dwelling where you have a half an acre and you can walk out in your yard and you're just right on top of your neighbor. And a lot of people on 15, 20, 30 acres. And if that's something that you do or something that you're aspiring to get to, we've got the equipment to take care of it.
Well, it's all waiting for you right there at 1506 West Main, as Don has said so many times, and I quote him quite often, everything from weed eaters to hay balers.
We got it. Come get it.
And your hours are convenient, too.
Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday from 8 a.m. until noon.
And a lot of people do check out a website, and we probably don't mention that as often as we should.
Sure.
But it's pretty simple, absolutekubota.com.
That's it. It's got everything on there. You can get a lot of questions answered in the evenings while you're sitting around. There's ways for you to reach out to us. And, I probably got a couple of emails in my inbox right now. And when I'll get back, I'll get those answered for those people.
And if you do want to call, the phone number, of course, is on your website, no doubt.
Yes.
But it's 449-6171. 615-449-6171.
And another thing, you can also use that telephone number to text us. We have a computer system that it goes out to different individuals, whether you're in parts, service, or sales, and we can text you back and forth. That way you can sit at work, and nobody at work will ever know you're talking to me about your new wishes and wants.
All right. Well, you have a great week. We'll do it again next Monday.
You too. Thank you,
All
Coleman.
right. Don Hamlet, Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main and Lebanon. Kubota tractors, hay equipment, zero-turn mowers, RTVs. We're 10 minutes after the hour, and on this Monday morning, let me welcome Melanie Mentor, the Lebanon Wilson County Chamber of Commerce, who is going to direct us into what all we're going to talk about and do this morning. Hello, and good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You're looking sharp this morning, I must say.
Well, thank you. Every day is a different day. You never know. So maybe this is a good day.
Well, you always look sharp, maybe extra special sharp today. How's that?
Thank you.
What are we doing today?
Well, today we are here to talk about We Love Our Wilson County Teachers. And I wanted to spend a lot of this segment just talking about what we're going to be doing next week. We're very excited about it. But today I want to give a special shout out and thanks to my very special guests, Superintendent of Wilson County Schools Jeff Luttrell and Superintendent Brian Hutto with Lebanon Special School District for taking time out of their day and their busy schedules to be here and share their stories and thoughts about our teachers in Wilson County.
Well,
I've got my list.
You probably got them on the right Monday. I'm guessing this far away from school starting is probably better than any other day to follow for a while.
That's right.
Right.
We're already. I know they're in the throes, and we've definitely been in the throes for a while on putting this program together and talking about it again this year, but. Even though I've got all my list, We Love Our Wilson County Teachers is so important to us. And so, people may ask what the value of teachers, coaches, administrators, and beyond might be. But teachers impact the very foundation of a child, and I believe this, or young adults' development. Later in life, teachers, students will recognize them in a crowd for some of the acts of kindness, for words they say or actions that have changed their lives. Teachers are the heartbeat of technology. So you've heard me talk about the heartbeat of small businesses, but they are very important at the heartbeat of technology. And without lively interaction between a teacher and a student, information on a page or a screen or a device really has no reason to intrigue and arouse curiosity in students and a question. Teachers are catalysts to both children and young adults, creativity and success as future leaders and workforce in Wilson County. And today, like I said, I have my very special guest, but our chamber has always been active in education, and this initiative began back in 2022, and it is something that we wanted to talk about again today. So I'm excited to have our guest, and we're going to let them talk a little bit.
All right. Well, Brian Hutto, good morning.
Morning, Coleman.
Jeff
Hey,
Luttrell, good morning.
Morning, Coleman.
Good
2 weeks in a row for you, Coleman. What a
both
joy.
of you can say that. Well, I think it would mean something to each of you to have an entity like the Chamber of Commerce go above and beyond what they have to do to help promote education and especially loving our teachers.
Oh, I agree, 100%. Chamber's a wonderful organization, and Melanie Mentor and crew. She texted Friday, and of course that's not even something you think about. Miss Melanie asked you need to show up. So I think Mr. Luttrell was in the was in the same position, but we obviously love our teachers. It's our business, but it's close to heart. I was a teacher. I'm married to a teacher. My mother-in-law's a teacher. It's a family endeavor. So we and our community really loves our teachers. And this is a fun way to show it.
Jeff, you've been a teacher and a coach and a principal prior to being director of schools.
I have 29 years worth, and I remember in sixth grade the teacher that inspired me. And I said, after my sixth grade year, that the work of that teacher had inspired me to know that that's what I was going to do. Never looked at anything else, and so that their impact is really strong for all students, and we know that, and history proves that. Our education system is really the foundation of our society, and so they're important, and the work that the chamber does to promote our teachers is really remarkable. A couple of years ago, I sat on the education committee as representative for Wilson County Schools, and I was just amazed at the volunteer hours, the work, the concern of that committee, and what the chamber does with that, and what we're doing here and what they're doing. It's uplifting for our teachers, and at a time when they need uplifting because the work they do is invaluable.
Well, Mr. Hutto, did you know as early as Mr. Luttrell that you wanted to be a teacher?
I was thinking on the way over here, I could name every teacher I had. I could name all of them all the way up. So I'm a product of Watertown. So Watertown Elementary, middle school, high school. I will say my high school, Miss Cantrell, Miss Johnson, I'm not going to, those two I have to pick because I ended up being an English teacher, and those were both my English teachers. And so their formative, constructive feedback for a high school boy, it definitely shaped where I landed. So
you didn't wait, neither of you waited till you were director of school to love teachers.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
It's time for us to take a break. We'll continue in a moment. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks, Absolute Kubota. Premium brands require premium parts and service. Contact Absolute Kubota's Elite Certified Service Department to schedule an appointment. 615-449-6171. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Wrapping up an earlier accident. It was a non-entry crash. 800 block OHB. Traffic's picked up quite a bit, actually, in the last few minutes out here on I-40, making your way through Wilson County, the Mount Juliet area. A little bit of radar from time to time out there. I-40 in Mount Juliet. Same thing in Dixon County as that picks up. I'll watch for radar I-40 around 840. Nash Painting. They service all of Middle Tennessee. Check out their website today at nashpainting.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
This is Mike Keith, voice of your Tennessee Titans. With 11 national tournament appearances in this past season, it's obvious that Cumberland University athletics continues to rise above expectations. Join me and Cumberland University for the launch of their Athletics Phoenix Foundation and the ribbon cutting for their football complex renovations on Thursday, July the 27th at 8:30 a.m. at Noakes Lassiter Field in Lebanon, Tennessee. Help us rise together and support transformative football facility enhancements as we impact the lives of our local community, college athletes, and future Cumberland University Phoenix. Learn more at cumberland.edu/Phoenix Foundation. Again, that's cumberland.edu/Phoenix Foundation. Cumberland University, where champions rise together.
We continue here on a Monday morning. Thanks for joining us. Melanie Mentor with the 11th Wilson County Chamber of Commerce is here, along with Director of Schools for Wilson County, Jeff Luttrell, Director of Schools for the Lebanon Special School District, Brian Hutto. Back to you, Melanie.
Other things to say. The Lebanon Wilson County Chamber, Mount Juliet Chamber, and Watertown Chambers of Commerce very much support education, our educational systems in Wilson County for all public and private schools. And this is really what this is all about. I have spoken to Mark and Brandy, so I wanted to give them a shout out and wanted to thank them for their leadership in making this effort unified. as well. Mark even helped start proclamations beginning in the city of Mount Juliet. So we're going to be all over with proclamations in all cities and as well as the county this week and next week. So I want to thank them for reaching out, for him to make the initial reaching out to Mount Juliet, and then of course I reached out to our local leaders here. I just want to give a little bit of information to those listening to us about the We Love Our Wilson County Teachers. It is a hashtag Wilco Schools Rock, and you can go to www.wilcoteachersrock.com and you can sign up through a sign-up genius to be a part of what we're doing next week. And next week, actually beginning on this Saturday, I'm going to Cedars Prep. But all throughout next week and a couple of days into the next week, we will be going to other private schools, Mount Juliet Christian, Anchor. But come to the chambers, any chamber. If you're going to be in Watertown, go to Visionary Design, grab a poster, share a smile, and show your support. It's very important that we have all of the community involved. So it's not just about the chambers and about the schools and the teachers. It's about everyone rallying and get together. And that's what I always say when I come here is, we have to work together. And when we work together, work success. And the teachers are very important to us, and we certainly want you listening to be a part of that fan club.
Well, here again, this is sort of a continuation of what really was begun last year. And I would like to ask each director here their opinion of what was done last year and how much was it appreciated, and how much was it maybe appreciated by the teachers to see this special effort?
Yeah, so Coleman, obviously I was new to the director seat last year, and just for me to see the overwhelming support within the county, to see the signs when we did our back to school essentially for teachers, and the chambers lined up with the signs and they're cheering the teachers as they walked in. Some of them would cry, they would get emotional because they understand their job and their value. And Melanie talked about value, but when you really see that visible show of support, it's a good thing, and we appreciate it.
Well, I would think, and Jeff can allude to this probably, but I would think it's sort of like a football team or a basketball team or sports. And when they go in and the whole crowd is there, greatly supporting them. The support is obvious, and it was last year, right?
Oh yeah, when you think about all that a teacher does that nobody ever sees. And that's the heart of a teacher. That's what makes them who they are. But they have that need too. They don't like to advertise that, but we all need affirming that there's support for what we're doing. And to see this community rally last year, it really was. It was unique to see teachers showing up for the first few days back, and to see the community there in the chambers and the business owners, people that they interact with on a pretty regular basis at their workplace, to say, hey, we love you. We appreciate what you're doing. It's pretty special, and a lot of great moments of that event last year, and I think that will continue.
And we don't want to let it die. You want to continue that, right?
Absolutely. So that was a no-brainer for us. We really did see teachers that were very emotional about it, teachers that thanked us, that thanked everybody around us, and saw everyone rallying in the community. And again, that's why I want to invite the people out next week to come join us at each of these schools. So it's amazing. I think at this time we're up to 33 schools. I mean, that's just a lot of schools to be in one place in 1 week and 2 days. But we'll have Wilson County schools, and we'll be celebrating all of those schools on July the 26th. Lebanon Special School District on July the 27th. Cedars Prep, again, this Saturday on the 22nd. Friendship Christian is July 25th. Mount Juliet Christian Academy on July 31st, and Anchor Academy August 1st. So we have everywhere for you to sign up in town. So we have covered all the schools that we can cover, and we want to make sure that we have a great crowd there. So again, I'm going to ask anyone that is listening to please sign up on the Sign Up Genius. Just go to the website, www.wilcoteachersrock.com. You can also call any Chamber of Commerce, and we will give you any further information to do that. We also have the locations of where you need to enter the school. But the main thing is that you stop by and you pick up your poster, because that's what they recognize. That's what the teachers recognize. So not just the people, but they recognize the posters and the efforts that we put into it.
Have businesses, other interested people picked up posters and displayed them at their business and this sort of thing?
Yes, they did last year. Last year we actually sold signs. We can do that. But this year we just wanted to give out posters to anybody that wanted to come by to the chambers and pick those up, so that there's just even a greater view of what we have to offer here throughout Wilson County and all of our schools.
What kind of response did you and Mark and the other chambers get out of this? Not that you're wanting the recognition or whatever, you're trying to call attention to put the teachers in the spotlight, but it must have been rewarding, and I'll bet you had some positive things to come from this.
Oh, we definitely had positive feedback, but of course at our chamber, education has always been at the top of our list, because we know those are our future leaders. We know those are the people that are going to be in our workforce. And so, it's just very important for everybody to know that. It's not about recognition of the chambers or of anybody really but the teachers. But I won't leave out the coaches or the administrators or the superintendents or the directors. I'm not going to leave any of that out, because without their leadership, we wouldn't be where we are today in Wilson County Schools.
But still, the primary focus was teachers themselves, the classroom instructors.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
They change lives every day.
Okay, any other details about this what you need to share?
I think I've covered it all, but definitely we just want anybody out there to be a part of our fan club. It really makes a difference. So I do encourage everybody to stop by and pick up a poster.
Do you have any numbers of those that might have participated? I doubt there's any way you could have kept up with it, but there were dozens, maybe hundreds. Was there 1,000 people that participated?
Well, there were hundreds. I mean, you look at every school and you look at people and their busy schedules, but most of these events are happening from 7:30 to 8. Again, they are all listed on the Sign Up Genius and on a link that tells you exactly where to be at each school and where the teachers will be coming in. So that's something that we changed a little bit this year to make sure that we had a lot of people in a lot of different areas.
But I think one of the great things about this, it seems like everybody's on the same page. Everybody's in it together. You have the support of these two directors who think enough of it to be here and talk about it this morning. And no doubt you both of you have been teachers and coaches. But the appreciation factor again is important.
Oh, certainly. It just reinforces, as Mr. Luttrell, the teacher, the heart of a teacher is to impact student lives and to set them up for success. And they need that pat on the back. And they'll work like you can't believe. And so when they walk up and see people cheering for them, or they see that sign in a business, it's just that pat on the back. And we appreciate you. And it's small, but it matters.
You want to add to that, Jeff?
Well, the education world is becoming more and more complex. I know in my career, just everybody's involved in it, and everybody's got an opinion. But I often tell people that that's fine, but the real work of education goes on in that classroom with that teacher and that student. And we need to show them our appreciation, because they keep producing. If you look at this county, a lot of the success of this county, as I talk to people that's moving in here, a lot of times, the majority of the time, the new families I talk to, they're saying, hey, we chose Wilson County, and the schools had a lot to do with it. Mm-hmm. We wanted to be a part of that. We wanted to bring our kids here. And so this is just an opportunity to just really give them a pat on the back.
Yeah.
And
Well-
it is small, but it's important.
Well, I think what you said would be echoed by a number of our realtors too. They would back you up on that without a doubt. We've got about a minute and a half, Melanie. You want to kind of go over this again? Maybe your schedule. We're supporting teachers. You want people to register and be at the school that they're going to be supporting.
That's exactly right. And again, you could go to any of our Chamber of Commerce websites and get the information. You can also go to the Wilco website and get the information as well. But again, we just want everybody to come out and enjoy what we're doing and be thankful for the teachers that we have. Just a couple of things on the Chamber side that I do want to mention. Of course, we've had over 50 ribbon cuttings this year already. And it's just July. So businesses are moving in, businesses are opening, we're thriving here, we're growing in Wilson County. And so we want to make sure that as a chamber, we're out there for everybody. We do have a golf tournament coming up, and that is on 9/11. So we are going to be honoring veterans and also first responders on that day, and we were going to give back to them and honor them on that day. So anybody that's interested in the golf tournament, please let us know at the chamber, and we will set you up for a team or a sponsorship. This week we have a government relations division meeting, and our guest speaker is Richard Clark, which is our public information officer here at the Lebanon Police Department. So I ask you to join us there. Please let us know if you need anything from the chamber. We'll be more than happy to come out and visit your business and see you. But today we really wanted to focus on, we love our Wilson County teachers. Sorry that everybody was not invited today. We have tons of administrators and directors that weren't able to be here today, but I do want to thank them for all of their hard work and all they do for the teachers.
All right. Well, thank you very much for getting this all going. And Brian Hutto, thank you for being with us. Director of the
Coleman.
Lebanon Special School District. Jeff Luttrell, Director of Wilson County Schools. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
And Melanie, thank you.
Thank you. One last comment.
All right.
Thank you, teachers, for those you influence every day.
All right. Melanie has the last word here. That is part one of Coleman and Company. Keep it here for more FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford and the Works Vehicle Checkup. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. $59.95 up to 5 quarts oil, tax and disposal, tire rotation, and safety check. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still a bit busy over here on the 40 eastbound off-ramp at Donaldson Pike. A lot of folks still headed to the airport as traffic increases down through the Mount Juliet area on I-40 westbound, leaving Wilson County headed towards Nashville. Still some radar out here, especially in the Robertson County 65 as you come north and southbound up through that stretch of the interstate north of Nashville. Be careful. Prince's Hot Chicken is catering. Check out their menu today. You can even order online at princeshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Get a great deal on select Kubota equipment, the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S. The versatile lineup features performance-matched attachments to help you make the most of your land. Right now at participating dealers, get a Kubota compact tractor for 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months. Now through June 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com/offers for full disclaimer.
Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main in Lebanon.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
A chance of afternoon storms and showers returns this afternoon. Otherwise, we'll see sunshine, a high near 92. Humidity beginning to increase across Middle Tennessee today. Tonight, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, otherwise partly cloudy down to around 70. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty. Professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm Stormy Clausen.
Coleman and Company, welcome to part 2. It's a Monday morning, and we are joined by
Come on, Coleman. Let's get it together this morning.
I have
By Billy Mullinax from Mount Juliet, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. That's right.
Oh, good morning. And
Good
welcome.
morning,
I
Coleman.
don't know what happened to my sheet for you.
Well, you don't need a sheet.
Well, actually, I do. But anyway, yes, I know you, Billy Mullinax.
Yeah.
You've been around for a few days.
We've been here a few times.
Oh, but it's always good to see you on a Monday morning and to talk about all that's happening down there at your auto dealership and Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Mount Juliet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, where you're the general manager, and hope things are going well.
It is going good, Coleman. Inventory keeps increasing a little. We have pushed the 200 mark on what we've got on the ground on new vehicles over the weekend. We had some come in, so inventory is good. Be a great time, for people to take a look at what we've got.
Well, we've been talking more about your increased inventory in the last few months anyway, that has increased tremendously, really, compared to what it was for maybe a period of 2 years there.
Well, it has, Coleman, and I think when you look at everybody's lots, everybody's new cars are increasing, but ours certainly has. We got down to 15 at one time, and we're up to about 200. So we've got a great selection, good mix of inventory, and like I said, just a little bit of something for everybody.
You've said down to maybe 15.
We were down to 15. 15 new vehicles.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now you've got lots more.
We got lots more,
Good.
Coleman. You don't have to settle for just what's there anymore. You can be selective and find the color that you want, the options and the trim that you're looking for.
And of course, we remind you every week, we remind our listeners that you can see that entire inventory of new and pre-owned cars at Mount Juliet CDJR.com.
Where you might even see your neighbor, Coleman.
See, I don't have it all up here.
Yeah.
Without that, I have to think.
You have to think about it. Well, it's kind of like you get in such a habit and a routine of looking at something that it doesn't go into memory. It's just kind of, it's there and you don't think about it.
Thank you for that great explanation. You took the word right out of my mouth.
Yep.
It's the way it is, though.
Well, it's kind of like with our cell phones. People used to know people's phone numbers, and now sometimes people won't even know their own phone number or their spouse's because they don't have to know them.
That is right. Well, we've talked about your aquarium a lot. Your saltwater, huge aquarium,
3,000 gallon,
right there on the main in the main showroom.
Yep,
and it's beautiful, and you. It's something you're really proud of and like to continue to talk about.
Well, we do talk about it, Coleman. I mean, Pete, you want to talk about the things that separate you and that make you different. And there's certainly nobody else that I'm aware of, no other car dealerships in Tennessee that have got an aquarium in their showroom. I'm sure that there are maybe some somewhere, but I'm not aware of them. But there are not any around here, so it does make us different.
Right.
And,
another reason to come see it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
well,
right.
And we talk about service after the sale. Well, you've got a great service department, and I don't think it's diminished any over the years. It might be even better than ever.
Well, they do such a good job, Coleman. Will Daly is our service manager. He's got a great team assembled between advisors and technicians, and that's really the tough side of the business. The service side is always the hardest side. Everybody's excited about buying a new car, but it's not always as much fun putting money into the vehicle that you've got. So that's a tougher side of it, but they do a great job getting people in and out. In the day and time that we live in today, where you see a lot of service department wait times 2 to 3 to 4 weeks, and typically we've got enough personnel and people, we can get things in and out pretty quickly as long as we've got parts. There still are some issues with parts availability, and back orders there, but
That's kind of beyond your control.
Well, it is beyond our control, but as far as being able to get in, have an appointment, usually within a week, we're able to, to get you worked in.
Well, that is good to know as well. And of course, it's the good old summertime, the summer months. The car business is usually a little better, I think, and I hope you're having a great month.
We are. We're having a great month, and then the summer months are a little better. I think kids are out of school, people are out moving and traveling and getting around a little bit more, and summer months are always really good.
Well, it's about time for us to let you go back to Mount Juliet, and we'll invite you to be back next Monday.
I bet I'll be here at the same time next Monday.
All right. Well, I sure hope so. And thank you for being with us
Thanks,
today.
Coleman.
Billy Mullinax, Mount Juliet, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 600 Pleasant Grove Road in Mount Juliet. All right. We are 21 before the hour, and County Mayor Randall Hutto joins us. Good morning.
Morning, Coleman. How are
you? The other Mr. Hutto that was here, people are wondering, are they kin?
We are kin. He's
your nephew, right?
Nephew. He's the better side of the family. He's my brother's boy, and has done a great job of leading Lebanon Special recently, and was good in his other stints as well.
Well, I have an idea. You are very proud of him, but I have an idea he's pretty proud of you too.
Well, I don't know about that, but
I do.
I know
I've talked to him.
Okay, but he does a good job, and I'm so proud for him and what he's been able to accomplish over there.
County Mayor Hutto comes here on the day that we have the county commission meeting and tells us what all he's done the previous month and reminds us of all that's on the agenda. More or less, this is the mode of operation here. So I guess today is not much different from the others. We're going to follow that kind of format, and it's always interesting to find out all that's been going on and what's on the agenda for tonight.
Well, thank you, Coleman. I always enjoy this time of trying to get information out of things. Sometimes it's things that's passed and happened, and I'll start out with the county commission passed their budget this last month and did that on time. I think it's probably the fourth year now that we've got it done before June 30th, which is a good thing. Again, not knocking what was done before because they're a different philosophy, but this is what the comptroller has asked the county commissioners to do, and they've done a good job of it. It takes a lot of work on their part to have several committee meetings early on and get the process going, and Mr. Maynard and his team really have to work hard. He likes it as well, though, because for him, he says, used to, we would pass it, if you remember, during the fair.
Yeah.
So we'd let all the revenues come in and all the expenditures be expended to make it a little bit closer to budget. But he would have to close out his books and do the budget at the same time. This way, it allows him to get the budget done, and then when June 30th hits, he starts closing his books out. And he's still doing that today. Yeah. We look, and I asked him the other day, well, what did we end up to the good? Because the last couple of years, we've had $6 or $7 million to the good, which is a good thing, that we didn't, have that much left over in our budget. And we think that's positive because it knows our departments out there are not just spending to get rid of the money towards the end of the year. And the philosophy that we've always had is that we're going to give you this much money again next year. You give us whatever needs that you need, and we'll go through our growth money and hand those needs out. But you don't have to spend all your budget to get it back next year. And that way, they're not just wasting money on buying things because they're scared they're going to lose their money. And so that turn back money, which we call it, is really a good thing, and it ends up in the black.
That I used to hear those stories, and I'll be honest, it really bothered me that you had to do that to get as much the next time.
Yeah.
Spend all they gave you this time.
Yeah.
I'm glad y'all doing it different.
We do that, and and I think that's again, that's hats off to our department heads because they work hard to turn back money too. It's kind of a pride thing for them to how much money can they turn back in that they didn't spend, and that's a positive thing for them. It's positive for the taxpayer as well. County Commission didn't have to increase taxes again this year, which is another positive thing, and they're staying within their means. There'll be a day that we'll have to. I know that, but every year that we get by without having to do that is a good thing. I will take a second to recognize Sean Benford, which retired with law enforcement last month. Got a chance to be a part of that, and she'd been a long time officer there in the court, but a long time part of the sheriff's department as well. And then sad to hear the passing of Mr. Randy Tremble, which again is an icon here when you talk about longtime police officers that have served our community. He is one of those for sure. And then brag on our sheriff's department, which closed a case that was almost a year old this last week or two. And it's important that they continue to work on those things. And as a citizen, or myself even, we don't get a chance to see that kind of work going on, but they are doing that behind the scenes and bringing justice to the front, and that's a good thing. Sarah Davenport was able to work with St. Jude, and the money we raised for the marathon that happens in happens in Nashville. Turned out to be a good dividend for St. Jude. So they had that check presentation this month. We did do an Alzheimer's proclamation this month as well to remember those people. Another thing that became pretty interesting, I've been part of a large group with the Greater Nashville Regional Council that talks about what are we going to do with our trash. As we know, Middle Point over in Rutherford County is kind of filling up, and they're not letting you, because of the Jackson law, put any more landfills out there right now, no more permitted landfills. So where does that trash go? And so we've had a group as a roundtable to talk about that, and a guy from Vanderbilt was down there, and his name is Sam Kirk, and he's kind of a professor there, and he said, what we've learned is that children a lot of times, or young adults, really have a better mind sometimes than we do, because we do things based on the things that, of our life experiences, and so we'll stop pretty much and say, no, we've tried that before, that don't work. And so a lot of times we're limited, but children, pretty much are a wide open toolbox, you may say. And so what they challenged us to do is get students from each county, put them together for a week conference at Vanderbilt. They'll stay in the dorms down there. And so Miss Bonnie Holman from Wilson County we got 7 students that are going to represent Wilson County down there to have a think tank for a week at Vanderbilt and come back with, what do we need to do better about our trash, where that be recycling, just different options there to do that. And so that's going on. So proud to be a part of that. And thanks to Bonnie and Sarah Davenport in our office for getting those students together to do something extra, during the summer.
I hope they can come up with some good ideas.
I do too. I think it'd be interesting to see what they come up with.
Yeah.
Had the Zaxby's Grand Open down at 109. Of course, saw you at the Watertown water gun parade, which was a good time. We did
Stars, Stripes, and Squirt Gun Parade. You got wet.
Yeah, I did, and it was good though. I enjoyed that always.
Not as wet as Jennings, but wet.
Yeah, and Jennings walked the whole way, so I have to give him credit for that. I am riding the tractor thanks to Mr. Fred Morgan, and but opened up the Clemens Fire Station on Station 3, and then Station 10 on Central Pike will open in August, so that's a good thing. Did the Rehab 23, the group that goes out and kind of takes care of our firemen when they're working on a large fire, celebrate their 10th anniversary this last Thursday night. And going to give the state of the county at the Mountain Jewett Chamber this coming Wednesday. Invite people to come and hear. It's good for all kind of people, but definitely for realtors and stuff that are trying to sell our community. There are lots of good facts in there. But if you want to have an interest in going this Wednesday, call the Mountain Jewett Chamber and they'll hook you up.
Okay. County Mayor Randall Huttos here. Time for us to take a break. We'll have more in a moment on Coleman & Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks, Absolute Kubota. Premium brands require premium parts and service. Contact Absolute Kubota's Elite Certified Service Department. Schedule an appointment, 615-449-6171. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. As traffic volume picks up through the Mount Juliet area, especially 40 westbound, headed towards Hermitage. It's increased also coming up from the south on 65 through Brentwood, Franklin 24, carrying a heavy volume of traffic now through the Antioch area, coming in from Rutherford County. Hey, Prince's Hot Chicken is catering. Check out their menu today. You can order online at princeshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
This is Mike Keith, voice of your Tennessee Titans. With 11 national tournament appearances in this past season, it's obvious that Cumberland University athletics continues to rise above expectations. Join me and Cumberland University for the launch of their Athletics Phoenix Foundation and the ribbon cutting for their football complex renovations on Thursday, July the 27th at 8:30 a.m. at Noakes Lassiter Field in Lebanon, Tennessee. Help us rise together and support transformative football facility enhancements as we impact the lives of our local community, college athletes, and future Cumberland University Phoenix. Learn more at cumberland.edu/Phoenix Foundation. Again, that's cumberland.edu/Phoenix Foundation. Cumberland University, where champions rise together.
Coleman & Company, thanks for joining us. County Mayor Randall Hutto is with us. His monthly visit to Coleman & Company. And we found out a lot that's happened since you were here last. We have a meeting tonight, our regular monthly meeting of the County Commission. And I was thinking the other day, the county commission at one time only met, they met once a quarter, 4 times a year. Now that's almost ancient history, but it was a long time ago. But there's so much more going on. I don't know at what point we started making it monthly, but it'd be pretty difficult if you only met 4 times a year now, wouldn't it?
No question. I think they also met during the day, and they also had 50 commissioners. So it was quite a bit of work, and there's a lot going on. And I think ours sometime, if things are running pretty smooth, some of our commissioners get nervous, saying, "Well, there's nothing for us to do." But there's always plenty going on, and hopefully we don't have to bother them as much. But meeting quarterly would make it a pretty long meeting. And you would need to start during the day to be able to get through.
All day and half the night.
Sure enough, yeah. But so tonight we get started, of course, and for the first time we'll have public comment period because of a law change. And with that public comment period, people can sign up before the meeting starts on a piece of paper that will be in the back. They'll have 3 minutes to speak if they would like to speak. And we've not done that before at the County Commission meeting. And the reason we haven't done that is because I think we had the best of both worlds here. Understand the law change, but we, of course, the city will go through 2 readings for a resolution. We'll only have 1, but the cities don't have a committee process like we do. So if we have a resolution that's coming up, and let's say it's going to come up in something on a building, let's say it's a school building, that's always a conversation that we have. A lot of times that would start out in education, may go to public works, may not, then it go to budget, and then it would come to county commission. So we'd have, 2 or 3 committees to go to before it got there. And then with that committee, those committees, we just let people talk when they wanted to. When you have a public comment period, the rules on that are you have to speak at the beginning of the meeting. You get 3 minutes to speak. You state your name and address for the record. You must speak on something that's on the agenda. And then there is no reply. In our committee meetings, the commissioners are always good about, of course, checking anybody around the table that's on the committee. But if there's a commissioner in the audience that wanted to ask a question, then they just recognize them. If there was a citizen that wanted to, they just recognize them, and they would get feedback. So I really like the process that we were in as opposed to this, because I do lead the meetings that I have in Nashville for regional meetings, and we have a public comment period there. But, somebody will get up and they'll speak on something that may be on item number 8 on the agenda. So by the time we get to item number 8, we may have forgotten what the person said back earlier, and they don't really get a chance to get a rebuttal. They can hear, but not. So I really liked our process, but either way it goes, it's a law, and that's what we'll be doing. Yeah. So that kind of starts tonight. Commissioner Scruggs will do the prayer and pledge for tonight. We do have 2 good resolutions that are coming tonight. One, which we've had for quite some time, is the day of prayer for schools, which are starting back up, as I saw both superintendents in here a while ago. Commissioner Marlowe would do that. And then I saw Ms. Mentor in here, and I know they have really, along with Mark Hinsley, worked really hard on showing teachers appreciation. So there'll be a We Love Our Teacher Appreciation resolution as well that we'll go through tonight. We're going to ask them to approve an audit committee, a reappointment. Commissioner Glover, Commissioner Keith, and Commissioner Clark along with Mr. John Lancaster and Miss Lisa McIntosh. And so those will be our audit committee going forward if they choose to approve those. We did have Mr. Jerry Dowd that decided not to run again on the BOZA committee, Board of Zoning Appeals. And so Miss Sonia Robinson is going to be asked to step into his place. She's been the alternate on that board for a little over a year or so now. On the Board of Health, the retiring of Dr. Wayne Wells, and he kind of moved away from here. So we, Director Alberto Valdez from the Health Department has recommended Mr. Hardy Sarles IV to take his place on that board. We will have the hiring of the appointment of a road commissioner for Zone 3. So the commission, the commissioners kind of run for that, so we'll vote on that tonight. The people that are eligible to run tonight in that zone district is Commissioner Scruggs, Commissioner Hall, Commissioner Evans, Commissioner Denton, Commissioner Kurtz, and Commissioner Clark. So the commission will vote for one of those tonight to fill that seat, which is filled today by Commissioner Scruggs. It is a quarterly report, and so we will have some extra guests there tonight for that. We have 2 rezonings tonight. One will be for Susan Gibson, located at 724 Bradshaw Road. She has 17.78 acres going from A1 to R1. And then I will be a Kurt McKeithen, 8921 Stewart's Ferry Pike has a half an acre going from R1 to C1. So those are our results, I guess, for tonight. And we don't have really a lot, as me and you were talking about earlier. It's the start of a new year, and so the budget is really intact, and so no resolutions coming before them, and not beside what you hear tonight.
I am wondering what kind of feedback have you gotten from the budget that was passed? Has it been good? Has it been bad? Has it been indifferent? Or have you had much?
I will say this, they're probably the only question out there would be teacher funding for raises. They had asked the county commission for a 5% increase for teachers. And with that conversation, and it's hard to get the word out there, I guess you may say, but the school board really did a good job with the money they had. And again, so when the paper writes up or somebody says, well, the county commission denied that 5%, the public in general thinks, oh, well, they didn't get anything this year, when that's not true. The school board really did a good job with the growth money they have. They get growth money in sales tax, BEP, and NTISR, and so they took that money and they put it to really good use. And, we feel like that's the best route to go, too, is we give them their growth money. And when I'm saying growth money from our side, we go to Stephen Goodall, the property assessor, and say, okay, now, Stephen, how many new people are going to be paying property tax next year that didn't pay it this year because of new homes? And so he'll give us that growth money. It was about 3.1. And then sales tax will grow. It went grow about 1.7 million. And then they'll get some money through the BEP as well. And so they really took that money and really worked hard at putting that to good use. So the teachers did get a 5% pay increase from them. And Director Luttrell is of the mind that as the next 3 or 4 years roll off with the governor's help with the TISR, which used to be called BEP, that he's going to get his beginning teacher salaries up to $50,000 per year. The county commission may want to add to that and make them more competitive in the region as well, and that's something that we will definitely need to look at. But they also put $4.5 million to the classified bus drivers, cafeteria workers, those folks. So they put $4.5 million there. And they also, as you'll appreciate here, they put $5 million more to the insurance, which helps them from having to raise the rates on their employees there. So that's almost $15 million towards employees right there that they did with their money they had. So they really did a good job of doing that. And sometimes that, with that communication that gets out in the paper, hey, the county commission denied them, people walk away thinking, one, well, the teachers didn't get a raise, and that's incorrect. And then two, the Board of Education is not doing anything for their personnel, but they really did. They did a great job, in my opinion, of working the money they got, and they had other money that they, added new teachers in different parts and different programs.
You seem to feel really good about the whole thing here, that didn't have to raise taxes, but that more money is appropriated for raises, as you just expressed. So
You are pretty happy with it.
Well, and I think happy may be a hard word there. Me and Director Luttrell have had some conversations, and know that we really need to continue to strive to get teacher pay to where it's competitive for him. He'll lose some teachers from time to time. Sometimes it's pay, sometimes it's different things. It always gets linked back to pay most of the time. But we want to be sure that we pay our teachers in the right manner and that we can compete with Williamson and Rutherford and Sumner. I mean, we want the best of the best teaching our kids. And so we have to work with him and the school board to make sure that we can make this pay what it needs to be. And I think he's going to do a good job of studying this too and let us know. And we've tried to do a good job in our office of doing the same thing. So we're communicating well together. And so when we say happy, happy's a 5% increase. That's good. But we've got to get to where we are competitive there. And same thing we did with our county employees, and I'm thankful for the commissioners for doing that. We set out, 7, 8 years ago to say, hey, look, the clerk that sells tags in Mr. Goodall's office is just as important or just as good as the one that sells them in Williamson County. We don't want to be better than them or better than Rutherford or Sumner, but we want to, they're doing the same job, so they ought to be as good. So we did that comparison, and I think that's what Director Luttrell and the school board are saying too. The teacher that teaches our children math here is just as good as that one that teaches them in those counties, and so let's be equitable. And so I think that's what we've really got to work at. And finding that out and then staying within our budget, that's the game that we have to win at. And we're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to strive. So I guess my point was, when the happy part is that teachers didn't walk away with nothing. Yeah. Did they walk away with exactly where we need them to be? We probably got to work at that.
We've got just over a minute here. As a former educator yourself, I think it makes you feel good to see people loving our teachers and expressing that.
It is a good thing, and education is the number one reason people move here today, no question. And I'm very proud of our educational system, both at Lebanon Special, our private schools, and the Wilson County schools, of course. And you look back as I do the state of the county, I put some data together. You think about it, Director Luttrell got Superintendent of the Year this year. Donna Wright got it in 14 and in 20. So out of the last 10 years, we've had Superintendent of the Year 3 out of the 10 years, and I think that says a lot for the total program. The winning quarterback or the head football coach that wins it, they get the praise, but it's the rest of the group that really makes that happen. And so I do feel good about our education. We won some honors not long ago about our system, that came out where we were in the top of the state. There are 3 or 4, I think. So I do feel good about that, and I know that's important. Those young people are our future. They'll take our place one day when me and you are gone, and so we want to prepare them well.
County Mayor Randall Tuttle, thanks so much for your visit.
Sir.
We'll see you next month.
Yes,
and I hope you'll join us tomorrow for Coleman and Company. And until then, I wish you a magnificent day.